Hi everyone, this is Sharon Goulet from digitalnomadwannabe.com and I'm here for an exciting new project. This is the first video of it and it's my new case study as I build a blog from zero, I guess, to hero. That wasn't going to be my tagline, but there you go. I couldn't help myself. So I want to show you how I'm going to start a new blog. So I haven't actually started it yet and take you through the whole process. Now I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to present this to you yet. I'm not sure exactly when you'll see this. But I want to film it as I go and write about it as I go, even if I don't share it quite yet, just so that I make sure I capture everything. You know, it's so easy with hindsight to forget stuff, to think, oh yeah, you know, it was just really straightforward, or it was horrible and I spent 20,000 hours, but you don't really remember the exact truth of it. So I really want this to be as like honest, authentic, and as real as possible. And I think the best way to do that is to do it as I go. Which does mean I'm taking risks. If this site doesn't work out, you know, and I'm taking a bit of a risky path, I think, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I think it could pay off really well. But yeah, I think even if it doesn't work out the way that I want, it could still have value. You can still learn from my mistakes. And, you know, I'm sure it'll still be kind of fascinating how we would go about it. I'm fascinated myself to like really just build a blog from the ground up now that I've done it with 2 other blogs in very different ways and just seeing what I can do. So why am I doing this? Well, I want to show that I can, you know, I want to show that my strategies work. They're just as true now as a couple of years ago. I want to be able to help you all. I think this is a really interesting way to help you rather than just giving you course material or whatever, so that you can really see what I'm doing and what effect it has. I'm also like, I just kind of want to build another blog, you know. It's September 11 here, sort of an unfortunate day, but anyway. You know, I'm just trying to get my travel blog listed for sale at the moment. And I feel like without the travel blog, I'm kind of going to want this sort of creative blogging thing. And I want to make sure I stay in the trenches doing all the things that I talk about on Digital Nomad Wannabe. So, I mean, I do have my niche sites, but I just want to have another blog, quite honestly. Now, I also like the idea that I'm going to be able to do it right from the beginning this time. I'm sure I could do it a lot faster and a lot easier than what I did before. You know, I already have a lot of ideas about what I should do, and it's more about what I prioritize rather than being lost. You know, like I know what I need to do. I just don't know necessarily where to spend my time in the best way possible, but you know, I'll work that out as I go along. But most importantly with this is I really do see a hole in the market for my blog idea. So I feel like it's got a great lot of potential, but then it's also got a bit of risk because it's a hole in the market and it's not something people are doing already. So, I mean, it could fail, but I really hope not. I really feel confident that we'll be able to make this work. So what is a hole in the market? What am I doing? Well, just to take a step back for a minute. When I look at niche site stuff and with Amazon AU opening up soon here in Australia where I am, I can see a really big hole in the market, right? There are lots of niche sites in many other countries, but there's really barely anything in Australia. You know, it's easy to see why. At the moment, we don't have Amazon, and we don't just not have Amazon, but there's very limited affiliate opportunities actually, and they tend to not be very good. So, you know, why build a niche site when you can't see how you'll monetize it? But of course, with Amazon AU opening, there's lots of possibilities out there, hopefully soon. But all of this is a gamble because we don't know exactly when it will open. So it's September 2017, and they're always saying it'll open soon, but they've been saying that for a few years. It does seem a bit more likely at the moment, but you know, hopefully in the next year, maybe. But I've said that every year for 3 years. So we'll see. But there's other gambles with this too. Like if I was to build a niche site, is that will they have an Amazon affiliate program? Like I imagine so, but when will it, you know, could it be another couple of years after Amazon opens? I was trying to research when it normally happens for other Amazons, and I only came up with a date for UK, and it was the same year, but you know, it doesn't mean it will be replicated. We don't know the commission level. So if I write about products, I don't know how much money it might make. We don't know how popular Amazon will be here yet in Australia. We don't know if it will have a lot of products on there. Like say I go write about juices, but they only put 2 juices on there. You know, that could really limit me. So there's all these sort of issues. But I still see a lot of potential. I like to think it'll all work out. So what I've decided to do is to build a site in some ways that's monetized a lot like my travel blog, in that it's a blog, but it has all these product guides. So it has like sort of elements of a niche site built in. So it's got a lot of product guides and it's got all that sort of advice, but it's also just a blog. Now the reason for this is because I do see that hole in the market for an Amazon AU niche site. But to be competitive and rank, I feel like you're going to need to be a .au and really aim at the Australian audience. So by .au, I mean a .com.au. Now, the problem with buying that domain name is that you have to use your ABN, and you can't, which is an Australian business number, and you can't use privacy so people can see who owns the site and it can be related to your other sites. So I wouldn't want to do any shady link building. And I think it's just much easier to get links to a blog. And there's a lot of benefits for blogs too, right? Like you go the niche site route, you can get a bit stuck with affiliate marketing. Blog just gives you so many possibilities, and I really want to build another blog. So I see the hole in the market with the niche sites, but I'm going to have a blog that has a lot of potential to do a lot of other things, but will make lots of money from affiliate marketing on Amazon, assuming all those things happen that I talked about as risk before. So it's sort of like, that's my plan. I wouldn't start another blog now without a clear path to monetization and really feeling like it could be worth my time, because I don't want to work full time on building another blog. Like I don't have it in me. I don't have the time. I need to know how I'm going to get there. So I see a lot of positiveness around that. But yeah, there are those risk factors. Now, the other thing I find especially tricky, and isn't something I'd normally do either, is that when I look at keywords for products, so say I write my blog, and I'll talk more about what I want the blog to be in a minute, but just more on this monetization strategy. When I'm writing product guides generally, the ones that make lots of money, right, you need to rank for a buying keyword. Now, I'll talk heaps more about that when we get to this stage in the process, but a buying keyword is like what people search for when they're about to buy a product. So it's like best juicer, best blender, best chair, best dress, whatever, right? Or reviews, or things like top dress, whatever. Now, when I go look at that stuff in key search and check out the top 10, I normally look at, search volume and how competitive it is, and what the commission rate is. I can't even see the commission rate. I don't even know for sure these products will be on Amazon. But I look at the top 10, say, and the search volume. Now, the problem is obviously Australia is very limited, so there's, it's not that great a population. So the search volume is a lot less. I'd like to think more people will start searching for this stuff when it becomes easier to shop online when we have Amazon, but that's another gamble too. So I want to see ones with good search volume, and that really leaves me with big products like best juicer. Whereas in the US, you wouldn't just have to go after best juicer to get a good search volume. You could go best masticating juicer on the market, or you can go more specific, go more long tail to find a good keyword, or you can do more random products like best vacuum sealer. But in Australia, they just don't have the search volume, so you've got to go that higher level product. And when I look at the top 10, they are far more competitive, right? So it's really competitive for best juicer, for back to that example. So a new site, it's hard to see it ranking when I use my normal sort of strategy for working out if I can rank. And that's pretty much the same for any keyword I look at. If they've got the search volume high enough, they look really difficult to rank. But this is why I especially want to go with .au, because you get an advantage ranking in Australia with a .au. So I have a .au already, and it does rank for really great keywords with a really low domain authority because of that .au, I feel. So I definitely want to go to .au to just give me that ranking boost in Australia and try and beat these higher ones. So the risk I'm really taking here, when I haven't really done it before with these types of keywords, is that if I have a .au, that I can beat all these international sites. And I'd like to think I could, really, because if I'm targeting products where the information from a US or a UK site is not directly relevant here, if I'm searching myself as an Australian to buy a product in Australia, I definitely go to the .aus. I wouldn't even look at those other ones. So I feel like it's just a matter of that information not existing here yet, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to rank above it with a lower domain authority. So, it is a risk. Normally I like to see sites already doing what I'm doing before I do it. If that makes sense. I'd want to see someone's ranking like that, but this might be too hard. There are some other keywords I'm coming across when I look, especially in the parenting niche actually, where there is a lot of .aus ranking, so that might be tougher, so I might avoid those a bit, but then they don't tend to be very quality, they're forum posts or an actual review site. By a review site, I mean where people go, random people go write their reviews for products and stuff, things that you don't tend to see ranking in the US. So I like to hope that once you have a good site out there, like my blog will be, that I'll be able to take them out. So that's all my thoughts around that. So I want you to just hear my thought process, and I get if you're new to blogging and you need these concepts, that might be slightly hard to understand and take in, but hopefully over time you'll know what I mean. So yeah, sorry if I'm confusing you, please stick with it. As I break it down step by step, hopefully it'll make more sense. But I wanted to explain it fully so those of you who are more on top of these things and have had more experience also get where I'm coming from and can understand the choices I'm making. Now, there's just one more thing I need to take into account with this blog, and using a .au. There's one more sort of risk with that too, is that I definitely have to consider that there's a good chance I'll sell it one day, right? Like, I don't plan to, but I mean, I never, ever, ever thought I'd sell my travel blog, so you don't know what will happen. Now, .au is harder to sell because you have to sell it to someone with an Australian business number, so there's that risk as well. But really, I just feel like I have the most chance of success in this area, and there's all these risks, but you know, let's just see what happens, right? Like it'll be a learning experience, and I don't know, I'm really excited. So yeah, my plan is affiliate marketing, but I can see, especially if I get the site ranking and doing okay before there's an Amazon AU program, that I might look at advertising in the meantime. Mediavine, like on my blog, does fine in Australia and with Australian audiences. I mean, it's never going to make you rich, that sort of money, but you know, it'll do something until I get affiliates. But I mean, first of all, I reckon by the time I have the site ranking and I have this content up, that there will be Amazon AU and it will be okay. Now, so back to my blog. So yeah, I want to build a blog. I don't want it to be a niche site. I want to have that personal outlet. I want to have that room for growth. And I want to have it so it's so much easier to get links, and I'll be able to do white hat link building. And I hope that a lot of people who follow me will link to me. I hope there's lots of potential there. But I've decided the niche is going to be lifestyle. Now, there's lots of reasons for this. A big one, and really the biggest reason, is that it's very broad, right? Like you can write about anything in lifestyle, really. Anything that interests me and part of my lifestyle, I can write about. So this is great from the point of view of like monetization and writing about products, because I can really write about anything and it would fit. But it's also great from the point of view that I can write about whatever I want. So hopefully it doesn't become like travel where I just get so sick of it and I just like kind of turns me off travel. I'm hoping if I keep it broad, I don't have to drive myself to that point again. Now, I definitely at some point, I love the idea of bringing in my own products, because I think that's really the way, you know, like affiliate marketing is great to boost you up, you know, and you can certainly get to 5 figures a month from that, which I've proven. But I think the way to go beyond that is products. So I don't have any clear plan at the moment, but that would be like a stage 3 of how I'd want to do it. So yeah, I don't want the site very niche. I kind of feel like there's a lot of push to go more and more niche, and I can completely understand that. I'm hoping that the .au kind of makes me more niche anyway, and that I'll be able to make the rest work. I certainly feel like I can. So yeah, like my big thing at the moment is just to get the site up. Now, I really have no time at the moment. I'm so totally flooded with work. It's been very stressful. So I am not building this blog properly yet. But I wanted to make this video, like I said, to show you at the time what's happening. And what I really want to do in the next 24 hours is commit to a domain name. I've been like thinking about lots to do with lifestyle and me and my philosophies and what's going to suit me, and keep it broad. And it has to have a .au available and the .com. I think it's important to have both when you're going with a country one. You know, if someone types in the name wrong and they just put .com, you want them to come to you still. And there's less likely to be issues with like sites copying you or whatever if you've got the same. So yeah, I've been trying to find one. I'm not very good at setting up domain names, but I just want to get it bought, and by picking one. Just want to get bought, and I want to put a site on there, just get 300 words of content and just get it aging. So even if I keep being this busy and I can't work on it for 6 months, I still, you know, it's aging, and it's more likely to, you know, to be good when I do come back to it, because a big ranking factor in Google is age. So if you're someone who's thinking about starting a blog and you're just procrastinating a bit, like, you just got to pick that domain name. You just got to get the site up. And even if you don't work on it for 6 months, just let it age. Just get 300 words of content and let it age. So that's my strategy at the moment. So I'm determined to get this in the next day. And then I'll be back and I will chat to you again when I've got the site up, and we'll just do a little walkthrough of what I've done so far. So thank you if you listen to all of this. I'm super excited to do this with you.